Welcome to the Spiritual Connection Show. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. So I'm a transformation coach, I'm an energy healer, I'm a shamanic practitioner, and I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is based in Westport, Connecticut. At the center, we have a variety of trainings and workshops, and we do private sessions. And also once a month, we have what is called satsang, which is Sanskrit for in the company of the truth. And right now we're doing it on Zoom once a month, usually the third or fourth Wednesday evening of each month. But I think, as the weather gets warmer, we'll probably move outside. So that's a really great opportunity to be together in person. And it's just an hour to be together, and we have a topic we discuss. And for example, this month we'll be discussing the healing of the inner child, really important. And we do some chanting at the end. And in the middle, we have a beautiful guided visualization. So I hope you can join us. And I'm going to put up our contact info so you can find us online. And again, it's a transformationcenterct.com, basically. And you can email or call for any more information. And the other thing that we do monthly is a shamanic clinic. And that's an opportunity for you to find out more about shamanism. You can register for, and this is on Zoom and probably will continue because it's working really well. People can come from all over to attend. You get a half-hour session where you get an extraction healing. And so you get an idea of how it all works. And it's very effective. So we hope you'll take advantage of that. And both of these monthly offerings are really community service. So there's no fee, except if you want to do a gratitude offering, that's fine. But anyway, check it out and find out what else is on our website. It's something different every month. All right, so welcome to the Spiritual Connection Show. As you guys know, it's all about connection. And I love meeting people, talking to them, finding out what they're up to, what motivates them. And everybody has something to offer, and I want you to learn from my guest and find out what's there for you. Find out more about your own spiritual self. Very excited today to actually have two guests. So welcome to the show, Anastasia Pryanikova and VEGA. So hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm going to just read a little bit about y'all for our audience who doesn't know you, okay, and show your contact info. So we're going alphabetically. So Anastasia first. Okay. So here's some information about her. She's a registered yoga teacher and aerial instructor. Traditional yoga, aerial yoga, yoga trapeze, and lyra. She is the owner of Mudroots and Moonlight. I love the name of that company. That's awesome. It's a wellness and holistic lifestyle company with a mission to help people achieve optimal physical and mental performance through nature-inspired modalities. You can see her website right there, mudrootsandmoonlight.com. Also a certified wellness coach, breathing coach, and an herbalist. And Anastasia is passionate about connecting people, plants, and movement for health and well-being. So welcome to the show, Anastasia.
Thank you for this wonderful introduction.
Yeah, it's great to see you. All right, so I'm going to introduce our other guest. Okay, so VEGA. Let me put your info up there, Lo. So here we go. So Lo is the founder and creator of VEGA Aerial Fitness and Wellness. I think you're getting the theme here, why we're having both of them on the show today, because they work together a lot. And VEGA Aerial Fitness and Wellness is a unique fitness and wellness boutique style pop-up studio concept. And it encompasses a variety of unique aerial fusion style fitness modalities. Can't wait to find out all about that. And Lo is a certified aerial fitness instructor. She's a personal trainer certified by the National Academy of Sports Medicine. And she's also a certified flexologist. Wow, a ton of stuff. And she possesses a bachelor's in exercise science and wellness. And Lo's passion and vision is to empower and encourage anyone who she works with to be fit, healthy, and happy. I mean, how could how could it be any better than that, right? So thank you, Lo, for being here as well.
Thank you so much for having us. We're very excited to be here and to talk
Yeah.
to you about all that we do and the beliefs that we have. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad it worked out. So again, we're going to go alphabetically. And y'all know that I like to ask my guests, the first question is about yourself. And that is, tell us a little bit about your personal spiritual journey thus far, how it started, anything you want to share. So Anastasia, why don't you start us off?
Well, thank you so much for having me. And I think my inspiration really comes from nature. This is where I draw a lot of excitement, a lot of awe, and a lot of my spiritual practices, as well as my work, whether it's with plants, through movement, or just helping people to connect with nature. And it came from my childhood, really. I grew up in Russia. Only back then, it was actually Soviet Union. Spiritually speaking, it was a country that proclaimed to be mostly atheistic. So religion was frowned upon, even though people practiced. And I was baptized as a Russian Orthodox Christian. But also, my grandfather was Jewish. So I had always a mix of practices and religions in my household without anything being really dominant. Both of my parents are scientists, they're chemists, so they were not particularly religious. But what I found interesting is that as growing up, I was always drawn to the world of nature. And that's what gave me really that sense of awe, spending my summers from morning till dawn, running around in the woods. Part of the culture was that we were foraging, we were picking up mushrooms, berries. I learned my first medicinal herbs as a child. My grandmother always had herbs drying from the ceiling. I remember that smell of St. John's wort in the midst of summer. And that's really where my kind of sense of connection came from. I think that earth-based spirituality. I had places in the woods that were my secret places where I knew the trees, I talked to the trees, I sat with plants. So that's, I think, where it really began. And then, of course, life happened and I grew up and my brain started taking over. I moved to the States. I chose a very left brain profession, which is law. I practiced law for a while. And then, as often happens, some dramatic life change is really what helps us reconnect. And for me, unfortunately, is when my husband passed away very unexpectedly back in 2012, and my daughter was only 6 years old at that time, and I really kind of had to stop and take care of me, my daughter, and just figure out what's next, what's important. And that was the point when I really, in my spiritual journey, when I connected back to the world of plants, because those plants is really what helped me to go through those times and find peace and find some kind of comfort through the process of grieving. And I decided that I want to help people really be healthy and feel their life and live it to the fullest. And that's where the shift happened more for me into wellness industry and into what I do right now.
Okay. Oh wow. Thank you for sharing all that. That's so interesting. I think you're right. That's often what does spur us on is something personal in our life that opens things up and realize that what we go through and we learn, we can help other people. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to ask the same question of Lo. If you could please share a little bit about your spiritual journey for us.
Great. Thank you again for having me. So for me, it seems that it all stems from just kind of my upbringing and my family. Growing up in New York, we spent a lot of time outside. We would always find ways to be outside and active, even as an adolescent, always been athletic, loved fitness, loved understanding wellness, loved understanding how and what makes us feel good. That passion for that probably has driven me to be where I am, and also some active things that have happened over the course of my life. I mean, I've lost a mom and a dad through unfortunate illnesses. My dad passed away from multiple myeloma. My mom had a stroke. So just those transitions and understanding and really educating people on the importance of how we move, how we treat our bodies, understanding and creating and communicating those things going forward to people has been something that's been always part of an innate being within me. I came from a corporate world. I worked corporate for many years. Loved it, but also loved being in my bubble of fitness and wellness, and having gone through probably downsize and having a family, going through, unfortunately, life changes of divorce. I have a daughter who's 16 years old now. I decided to take my passion and bring it into full circle for myself, for my daughter, just for people going forward. I mean, my family that exists now, and just understanding and gone through and not knowing enough when I was younger, and really harnessing that information now is what's brought me to full circle to create this company, to have this passion. And I have a daughter. I'm a single mom now, raising a daughter, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't educate her because of those experiences that I had as a child. We all have to live our lives as young children and go through our experiences, but it is real and true how we take care of our bodies, how we move, how we create, different opportunities for ourselves to live a long and, life to the fullest, in longevity, healthy. So it's been a combination of my youth, my adult life, having a child myself, going through life's trials and tribulations, that has brought me full circle to this point. And we'll talk about this, I'm sure. And at this point in my life, I've surrounded myself, and it's been fortunate how the world has allowed me to surround myself with positive people. And that's how Anastasia and I met, was through putting our energies of health and wellness out into the world. And it has aligned us to find each other and build these passions that we strive every day to fulfill and teach other people about. So yeah, that's kind of how it's come full circle to me, and it's still coming full circle.
Right, right. We're all works in progress. That's what's so beautiful about this path that we're on of health and wellness. And, it's a mind, body, and spirit, like I know both of you are firm believers in, that you can't have one without the other, and we're all connected. I feel a real strong connection to both of you, and that's beautiful. And so tell me then, how did you guys meet? Who wants to share that? Raise your hand. Who wants to? Okay, Anastasia.
I'll go ahead. So I practiced yoga for a very long time, and for a while I practiced it at Breakthrough Family Fitness. Kim Calato is the co-owner of the gym, and I was there since my daughter was 2 years old. She would go to the babysitting services there, so it was sort of my gym, my place, my happy place. And then eventually I decided that I'm going to go ahead and get my yoga teacher certification. And it was not without the help of Kim Calato, who was pushing me for a while. It's like, you should really try teaching. You've been doing it for so long. You should really try teaching. And for a while, I was like, no, that's not for me. I don't know if I'm going to do it. And then I decided, why not? I should try that. So I completed a couple of programs, actually not one 200-hour program, but two of them. And I started teaching and absolutely loved it. I always knew that I loved teaching. I just didn't see myself teaching fitness for a while. But that experience really showed me that I enjoy teaching movement. I enjoy movement in general. And then as months went by, Kim Colato again told me, you should really try that aerial class. We have this wonderful instructor, Low Vega. I bet you will love it. And I first like, oh, well, I don't know. And then eventually I went to class and I fell in love with it. And the rest is history, as they say, because not only I took the class, I ended up pursuing my teacher training with Low Vega. And eventually I started teaching our aerial classes, and I can be happier. So it's very interesting how sometimes life really nudges you through people, through circumstances, through various things. The universe is knocking on saying, hey, this is your path. Just keep moving, move over there. And so that's how I found Low at Breakthrough Family Fitness.
Yeah, that's great. So Lo, I want to hear about then. Why don't you describe the whole aerial fitness or the aerial yoga? I really don't know that much about it, and I'm sure our guests would love to hear about it.
So I have to start out with how I discovered it. So
Okay.
I literally saw a Groupon for aerial yoga and I was fascinated. And this is probably going on 7 years. And I grabbed a bunch of my friends and I said, we have to try this. This is they're working out in a hammock. Like, I'm like, this is just unique in of itself than any traditional workout. And then we're like, you're absolutely nuts. You're going to be off the ground, whatever. But I was able to get a couple of friends to do it. And there was a studio in Greenwich. And I just fell in love because I was like, oh my God, what a great way to move the body freely, to be able to entrust this hammock to allow you to move, create space, movement through the joints, create range of motion, and then also build strength and gain flexibility. Anastasia and I know we call it's a mind over matter thing. Aerial has been around for years actually I did the research. So I said, I want to learn more. I want to get trained by the best and the brightest. And I'm in love. I want to learn this modality because not many people were doing it in the Connecticut area. It's been around in the West Coast for forever, but it wasn't mainstream. So I sought out, found a woman who was in New York City who was a Cirque du Soleil performer, about 5'5", the most strongest, amazing woman I've ever met. And she happened to be doing a teacher training. And it was like a 60, 70 hour over a long weekend. And here the journey began. During that time, I was actually in school getting my bachelor's in exercise and wellness because I did get it as an adult. Prior to that, I was business administration. Then I said, you know what? If I were to rewind it back, I probably would have went into medicine, honestly, but fitness and wellness was the next best thing. And I took this course, I fell in love, and the journey began with just understanding how I felt. And I recruited friends and family to understand how the movement is in the hammock. And it's been a whirlwind since. Educating, letting people understand the movement. We've created so many different style classes around the hammock. People see the hammock and they immediately think, oh my God, like I have no balance, I have no flexibility. I can't stand on 1 foot. 2 feet, nonetheless 1 foot. And this is why you do this, to be able to really connect to your body and movement. And proprioceptively, like we all hung off monkey bars when we were a kid. Having that feeling of empowerment to be able to do something that we did when we were kids, obviously with guidance, is liberating. It is so encouraging and liberating because people immediately see the hammock and they go, oh my God, this is intimidating. But we've created, and Anastasia has been, a complete, brainstorm on this, as we've created restorative classes where we take the hammock low to the ground. We create space in the body, we open up the ligaments, and it's basically yoga on hybrid, taking it off the ground and utilizing the fabric to help you stretch and deepen. So when I first started doing this, I was like, oh my God, my body has never felt so amazing. Working in corporate, sitting in a desk all day, what does gravity do to you? It just compresses on the vertebrae, sitting in that, flex position with your hips. It really changes your life and your movement. into a negative path because you don't realize it till it sometimes it's too late. So Aerial has given me, like, I will not sit in a desk very long now. I try to move, and I am doing something in the fabric, either inverting or opening. I mean, inversion therapy has been around for years in a boot, a little intense, but this adds a grace and a movement to it to be able to, once you get past the mindset of, I can't do this, and you have someone that can support you. I mean, the liberation of being able to just nestle yourself in it is a full hammock. To experience that is nothing that I've ever experienced in any fitness modality, because it
Wow.
is truly mind, body, and soul. Once you get past, our mind leads us there. If we're fear is in the mind, the body follows. And it's like that with anything that we do in our lives. I tell my daughter, fear is half the battle. You've got to focus on where you want to go and give yourself an opportunity to gradually get there. And once you're there, you're like, oh my goodness, how did I not do this before? So that's kind of where Aerial started for me. And it's just been a passion and a love. And we've surrounded ourselves with people that have brought us together. I mean, Kim Coletto, she's the owner of Breakthrough, and we will mention her 3 Ways from Sunday because she brought Anastasia and I together. And has it been 3 years, almost 3 years, that we have created, this environment, and between what I bring to the table and what she offers with all of her knowledge and background in herbal and wellness, it is such a empowering duo that has allowed us to come full circle with when we talk about it, and all we do is smile because it's just so empowering and makes it's a happy place. So yeah.
It's great. I mean, your enthusiasm is wonderful. I love the passion, and it's contagious. So I know there's some questions that people ask, and Anastasia is one that is on my mind and probably everybody's. So how physically fit do you need to be in order to do this aerial yoga?
Well, the great thing about starting in the aerial apparatus is that you can really start at any level of fitness and you can quickly see the progress, see the results. Our restorative aerial class is meant for people who are complete beginners. And to experience the fabric and the support of the fabric is really amazing. You don't have to be flexible, you don't have to be strong, but what you're going to find as you progress through our courses and classes is that you build your strengths really fast. The combination of the apparatus and the exercises and some of the drills and some of the basically like poses that we teach allow people to build the whole body strength very quickly, from posterior chain to the core muscles to the grip, which is very important because we want to have strong hands. We don't want arthritis down in later years. We want to make sure that we can work on decompressing the spine, keep our spine healthy. So this is a really whole body modality. Not only that, it helps us build flexibility little by little, again, with the support of the fabric. And it allows us to build our balance, to improve our balance. A lot of people come first time to class, they say, oh, I'm not sure, because it's moving. Everything is moving around you. All of a sudden your brain is like, where am I in space? Proprioception is changing. And then a couple of classes in, there's so much comfort in the fact that the fabric wraps you around like a cocoon, and it helps you to maintain that balance. And as a traditional yoga teacher, I can say that hammock can make more yoga poses, traditional yoga poses, such as some advanced poses like shoulder stand or handstand, much more accessible. You get the same benefits, but you don't have the risks of injury to your wrists or to your neck. So you can take the hammock and look at it as a prop that actually helps you to maintain that level of safety and comfort as you explore the limits of your movement. So we take anybody. They don't have to be fit. but we'll get them fit. So it's really for everybody, and we encourage everybody to try. A lot of fears live in our heads. We have clients from 6-year-olds to 50-plus-year-olds and older, and they all are amazed at the benefits that they can get by just coming to classes and starting to build their confidence, empower themselves to take charge of their health and their fitness.
Yeah. Wow.
Everybody.
Yeah, it sounds like for everybody, that's a really good way of describing it, that you can think of it as props. So it's not as challenging maybe as traditional floor yoga, where it can be challenging. I mean, demanding for me, at my age, it's specifically challenging, but I definitely want to come try it. So you guys have classes on an ongoing basis, right? Regular classes that you
We do. We offer regular classes. Obviously, we live in a weird COVID world now. We've been doing small group. We generally have about 10 people in a class. We've been doing 6 now with COVID, and it's great because it's small group. So you're getting individualized attention like you would kind of do on a one-on-one training session. We're spaced apart. We also partner with a lot of other businesses in the community right now. We're partnered with Salt Cave, and we have the unique opportunity to be able to, we have portable rig setups, which allows us to pretty much set up anywhere we want. So we're actually setting up in the Salt Cave, and we're offering a restorative, we call it Get Salted and Restored event at the Darien Salt Cave. And it has just been amazing because now you're getting 2 amazing benefits: the halotherapy that the Salt Cave offers and the restorative therapy of the hammock being suspended. So it's just, an amazing opportunity. We're also doing private sessions at Haven in Darien. So we're always looking for ways to bring the opportunity for the business, to get people excited about trying aerial fitness and wellness, as well as offer, the wellness part, which is, also what I offer as far as coaching and guidance, but also the herbal part, which Anastasia can incorporate and offer as well. So, I mean, the vision for me has been a wellness, fitness and wellness company, and we continue to partner with other businesses in the community that offer all of this that we can, filter in through to our individual clients. One thing I wanted to also really quickly share, Anastasia teaches yoga. We love yoga. But we also try to differentiate a little bit from the traditional yoga, like Anastasia said, where we do fusion. And it's fusion because we integrate yoga, Pilates, suspension training, bar, aerial arts, because it's a natural evolution of what the fabric offers. To be doing exercise or movement in this fabric is an artwork. It's beautiful in its own sense. So when we talk about aerial, we really say aerial fusion, because people immediately think that it's kind of the same, and in so many ways it's not, because it's more empowering to allow you, as Anastasia said, to do more challenging poses with the support of the hammock. So we try to encourage and focus people on, it's yoga, but it's yoga on hybrid, and it's so much more.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad you brought that in. So we're going to have to wrap up in just 1 minute. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Anastasia, as we're wrapping up? We have about 30 seconds.
I just want people to invite and try to not listen to their fears. This is empowering. This is creative. As one of my clients said, if I can do aerial, I can do anything. So come out, join us, and do anything else in the world you want to do.
I love that. Well, I'm definitely going to do it now. You guys have inspired me. I love your enthusiasm, your energy, and what you bring to the world. So thank you so much for being on the show, joining us on this Spiritual Connection show.
Thank you so much for having us. We're very grateful.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right, take care.
Stay well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.